Hello sweet souls, welcome into this video. If you are new to my channel, my name is Abby and today is day 30 of a 30-day challenge that I called the Holy Shift, where is there something on the lens? That's better. Where I shifted my entire freaking life. Alright my lovelies, let's get into it. First of all, I can't believe we freaking made it. 30 days was transformational. So the first thing that I want to talk about is my haircut, because something really interesting happened to me. First of all, if you remember my introductory video, I was not planning on going drastic. I just wanted something really simple, cut off the dead ends, maybe get some cute bangs, easy peasy. But I had a dream, and my dreams are really important to me, where I cut off all my hair. And it felt freeing and beautiful and playful and fun and sexy, and it's all of these things that I've been wanting to step into. I wanted to pull that energy from the dreams that I was feeling and put it into this physical reality, into the life that I'm living right now. So I was planning on cutting my hair, but with change, sometimes you have to go through a grieving process, especially with your hair. It is something that holds emotion and memory. That hair was my survival hair. It went through so much with me, you guys. It was the woman who was too afraid to say, I need a haircut. It was the woman who was too afraid to spend money that she received on that haircut, on herself, on feeling good in her appearance and her body. It was the one that was too afraid to speak up for her wants and her needs. I went through a lot of hard times in the last 4 years, so that hair was holding on to all of that. I needed to cut 3 inches of it myself because I was grieving. I was having a meltdown about knowing that that chapter of my life is ending. Not necessarily because I was sad, but because I was leaving it behind, you know, and that is a grieving process when you're shifting into a new form. That old form got you to where you are, and that's so beautiful. So I wanted to honor her, and I also wanted to baby step my way into getting my hair cut. So fast forward to today where I get my hair cut. I go in, they don't have an appointment for me. They did not put it into their scheduling system that there was an Abigail coming in to get her haircut. So they had to make space for me. I had to wait a little bit, and because I live in a Spanish speaking country and I am not fluent, I wanted to give a already pre-made translation of exactly what I want, and also show photos so that there is no confusion, anything lost in translation. The woman cutting my hair ended up speaking a little bit of English, so that was helpful. We were on the same page, we determined a length, everything was golden. She dry cut my hair first, and it was about 4 inches longer than what we had discussed. And I was not happy with that, so I said, you know what, I really want to go shorter. I want this to be a big change. I'm ready for a big change. And she cut less than an inch off after I had said that. So I'm sitting in the chair and I'm very disappointed. And I had 2 options at this point. I could stay with the length of the hair that she had given me the second time and stay small in that chair and say, it's okay. I was trying to comfort myself. It's okay. We'll cut it shorter another time. Maybe this is enough for right now. And I said, no. That is the exact opposite of everything that I went through in this 30-day challenge. I'm embodying a completely different version. I am not the girl anymore that sits in that chair and stays quiet. So I said, I'm sorry, but I want it shorter. And she wanted to cut the layers first in order to show that, you know, it's gonna go shorter, and she cut the layers and the length didn't change. So I said, no, I still want it shorter. She was not pleased with that, you guys, but I sat in the discomfort of disappointing her while pleasing myself. I was not rude, I was kind, but The past me would have never done that. She would have shrunk, stayed small, so that the other person didn't get to feel uncomfortable. I decided, you know what? In this throne, in this salon chair, I am embodied, and I am a paying customer paying for a service, and I asked her something specific, so I'm not leaving this chair until I get it. So my hair is still longer now than what I had originally asked for, but the whole experience was just a test. Like, how much are you going to anchor in this new reality, in the version of you that you worked so hard to become in this 30 days? So now I want to talk about what you might come up against if you're going to do a challenge like this, or if you're planning on changing anything. What came up for me for body, mind, and spirit, because those were the three main categories that I was really focused on changing. So for my body, right now, this is the one that has the biggest change. I started to notice with the 30-day movement, at first it was a little bit difficult. When you're trying to change something and you're trying to be consistent, you feel like sluggish to start. And so the more that I kept consistent with it and it's just 30 minutes, Abby, it's just 30 minutes, you can do it, the easier that it became. And then the more movement I did, the less inflammation I saw, and the less inflammation I saw, the better I felt in my body. And the better I felt in my body, the more I wanted to move it. And the more I moved it, the more I needed to eat well in order to fuel that movement. And the better I ate, the less I craved the crappy stuff that I was eating before, and the more I wanted to eat like whole and natural foods. And the more I ate those, the more energy that I had, the less inflammation, the better I felt in my body. So it was this beautiful cycle that I was going through. And now I feel, because I stuck so consistently to that 30 days of movement, it's now going to be easier and easier to keep implementing this every single day. My movement changed. It was not always like stair sprints, if you saw my short, or like really intense HIIT or weightlifting. Sometimes it was stretching, sometimes it was yoga, sometimes it was a gentle walk. And allowing that softness to control the movement was exactly what I needed to do, because I had the non-negotiable structure of I have to move my body for 30 minutes today, with the feminine flow of you get to decide what feels best for you in your movement. So that was a really nice way to do it, especially when you're starting out, because you want to start out from a place of love and gentleness and kindness. So if yours looks like just stretching in the beginning to get the hang of this is my devotion to myself in this 30 minutes, you're gonna just build on top of that as you go. The next category was my mind. So this was the biggest challenge to me in the 30-day challenge, because when you have thought something or thought a specific way for a certain amount of time, it solidifies into a belief. And those beliefs cannot be changed overnight, even if you have the awareness of a new way of thinking. And this brought up a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of hopelessness sometimes, a lot of confusion, all these emotions that I had pressed down, and it was so much directed at self. All this frustration, all this anger, like how did I get this far down and I'm down here even though I knew the tools but I had not applied the tools. And when I'm embodying, that's when it can start to pull up all of those old beliefs. And it's like plucking them out by the roots. So it can be really uncomfortable, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to lie to you. That part was really difficult for me. But the more that I listened to Abraham Hicks, the more that I read their books, now I have a different approach. I have the tools, and I have a bigger and better understanding of how the mind works. So I can play this human game a lot easier than in the past. I'm moving forward with more ease. It's becoming more fun because I have a deeper understanding. The next is spirit. So I was really working with scripting in this 30 days. And while I have not seen any physical manifestations, nothing tangible in my reality yet, I feel the biggest energy shift, you guys. And when you feel something that is so strong, it has to manifest. I know that what I have asked for is being delivered. It's the book by Abraham Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. We ask, that is our job. God gives, that is his job. And we relax and allow and receive. And now I'm in that like juicy, relaxing mode where I know I am receiving because I've already done the work. I am energetically aligned with it. It's just flowing in. That Amazon Prime truck is like parking in my driveway right now. What I've ordered, I am receiving. It's en route. So that's kind of the recap of what I've noticed in these 30 days. And seriously, you guys, 30 days is not a long time, but it was enough. You know what I mean? It was enough time for me to notice this big, giant shift in my life just by being devoted, by having that structure of the masculine, by having non-negotiables. This is what my days are going to be like no matter what for the next 30 days. I'm going to stick to it. What I do in each category is going to be that flow, but that structure was everything that I needed. I didn't really know what was going to come from this. I obviously filmed it for YouTube. I filmed it for content, and I'm really glad that I did because I do think that that helped me stay accountable. It's like when people film their 75 hard challenge, they have more success with it when they show up online like, hey, I'm doing this thing, because they feel like people are watching, people are expecting that you finish this challenge because you came out strong, so don't dip down in the middle. And that's exactly what I experienced, was that dip in the middle. So I'm glad that I did put this online so that when I came down, I stayed accountable to myself. I didn't quit because I wasn't going to quit on me, and I'm definitely not quitting on you. Yes, I filmed it. Yes, it was content. Yes, it was for you guys, but this was so very much for me. This was not about YouTube. This was not even about the challenge. This was about devotion and love. The whole thing felt like a love letter from my higher self. When I rewatched all of the content that I had created, it was like that encouragement that I deeply needed at the time when I needed it. It was so beautifully like expressed and created. The only way I can describe it is that it didn't just come from me. And the more that I look back on it, the more I can see myself evolving. I'm not afraid to try something new like the cinematography. I'm not afraid of speaking. I'm not afraid of showing up on camera glossy-eyed and crying. I'm not afraid of cutting 9 freaking inches off my hair. And I am definitely not afraid of shifting my entire freaking life. If this is something that is like intriguing you, but you're not sure where to start, I got you. I actually put everything that I went through, how I structured it, what I wanted to see, what I went through, all into a course that is in my Ko-fi link in the description box below. You can pick that up. It's super affordable because I want to help you. I want you to see that changing your entire freaking life is simple. It's so much more simple than you think, and it truly just takes 30 days. So yes, this is the end of my 30-day challenge, but this is literally just the beginning of the holy shift.